echoes in the gym. Every punch thrown a battle from within. They see the glory, don't know the grind. Leave the weakness, leave it all behind. Let's go! Again! Harder!
Some fighters chase greatness. Others build a legacy so dominant it becomes untouchable. Khabib Nurmagomedov was the latter. Born September 20th, 1988 in Dagestan, Russia, Khabib wasn't raised in comfort. He was raised in pressure. In the mountains where the air is thin and the expectations are not. Where discipline wasn't taught, it was demanded. His father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, a coach, a mentor, a warrior, a man who didn't just train fighters, he built them. From an early age, Khabib was molded. Wrestling, grinding, endurance. Not in perfect gyms, but in harsh environments, cold mornings, rugged terrain, in conditions that didn't care how you felt. Where others trained for hours, Khabib trained for survival. Judo, Sambo, combat Sambo. Styles forged not for style, but for control. Because for Khabib, the goal was never to entertain, it was to dominate. And in Dagestan, training didn't end when practice was over. It continued in how you lived, running, climbing, pushing through conditions that tested more than the body. They tested the mind. Because in that world, you don't train to look good, you train to endure. He turned professional in 2008 and began building something different. Not a highlight reel, but a path of destruction. Fight after fight, opponent after opponent, dragged to the ground, controlled, broken, pressure, control, relentless pace. By the time he reached the UFC, Khabib wasn't new, he was inevitable. He made his UFC debut on January 20th, 2012, and from that moment, the division began to change, not slowly, immediately, because Khabib didn't just win fights, he erased opponents. But even with dominance, the rise wasn't easy. Injuries slowed him, momentum stalled, and the road got harder. But Khabib never wavered, because discipline was stronger than doubt. Then came the breakthrough. April 19th, 2014. Khabib continued his climb, stacking wins one after another, until the world couldn't ignore him anymore. And then came the rivalry. Conor McGregor, the loudest voice in combat sports, against the quietest killer. Two completely different worlds, about to collide. The tension built long before the cage closed. October 6th, 2018, UFC 229, the most anticipated fight in MMA history. Not just a fight, a storm. Trash talk turned into chaos. Tension turned into something deeper. And when the cage door closed, everything went quiet. Khabib did what he always did. He took control. Round after round. Pressure, suffocation, relentless pace. No space, no escape, just control. Until the submission, until silence. Khabib Nurmagomedov, unbeaten, still undefeated, and still untouched. But legacy isn't just about winning, it's about what you represent. In a world built on chaos, Khabib stood for discipline, respect, family, legacy. And that legacy was built long before the spotlight, in mountains, in silence, in environments that shaped him into something different. Not just a fighter, but a force. October 24th, 2020, UFC 254, against Justin Gaethje, a dangerous striker, a brutal test. But Khabib made it look inevitable. Another dominant performance, another submission, another statement. And then, the moment no one expected. In the center of the cage, he removed his gloves and walked away. At 29-0, Khabib Nurmagomedov retired. Undefeated, untouched. A perfect record in the most unforgiving sport in the world. Because sometimes the greatest fighters know when to stop. Every legend has a story, and every king leaves a legacy. This is Ring King Chronicles. Who should enter the ring next? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe and like for more.
Champion forever.